my darlings, I'm Angel and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you guys my, what month is it? July wrap up. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to be looking at my phone, so if I'm not looking at you, it's because I'm having fun. And I'm going to start off with the two books that weren't it for me, like, at all. Also, we'll see how long these glasses stay on, because I personally don't like myself in pictures or whatever video type stuff with glasses on, because I think they just look weird, but we'll see. But first, yes, we're going to talk about the two books that I had to get off my chest because they just were not it. Okay, so the first one is called Rumor Has It. I should probably leave space to have the book up, but it's called Rumor Has It. You're the One by Elizabeth. I gave this 2 stars. Like, I did not enjoy it. I was not entertained. Like, if this is not your first time here with like my videos, you know I like to be entertained, and I was not with this book. It was like a short story, a short read. It says 69 pages. It was short. I wasn't sure if I had expectations. If I did, they were not met. And I can't even really tell you what the book was about, because even like the blurb on it didn't really say what it was really about. But I guess you could say it's like a fake dating, second chance romance type stuff. The writing was awkward. It just didn't flow, and I don't know what it was about it. I don't know if it was because I'm trying to like maybe give like the benefit of like the doubt, because both of the two main characters of the story weren't like from America. They're from like Europe. I think the black girl was from France, and the guy, he's like mixed, but like mixed some type of way, but still English wasn't like neither of their first languages. So I don't know if it was because it was awkward because they weren't, you know, like I guess like a native like English speaker or what, but the writing just didn't flow. And I was trying to see if the author Elizabeth had like other like books out, but apparently it was only, so far all they have on Amazon is just this one. I don't know if there's one anywhere else or what, but it's just Elizabeth, like that's it. And I don't know if it's because Elizabeth's first language isn't like English, so I was trying to like think about it that way, because if it's not their first language, then well, what they have here is still, you know, like despite the awkwardness, it's still great, right? But it just didn't flow. And like, it's 19 chapters, and I stopped reading at like chapter 14. But at that point, from like chapter 11 to chapter 14, I kept telling myself I needed to DNF it, I need to DNF it. But it was just like a short read, and I felt like I can just get through it. Like, I was telling myself it's short. I don't have to like, it's a short read. Like I can do this. But I was trying to get the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it'll get better. It didn't. Spoiler alert, it didn't to me. And yeah, it just wasn't it. And then like they kept talking about like 5 years ago, because 5 years ago, if this is a spoiler, apologies. I don't know. Because I don't know how else to tell you what the book is about, besides it being fake dating / second chance romance type story. But they had this summer like fake dating fling like 5 years ago, right? and homeboy caught feelings and has been liking her like since, but she kind of like, oh, yeah, he was, you know, fine and da-da-da, but like that was it. There was nothing else outside of that, like nothing close or whatever. Like no feelings, right? And then 5 years, you know, later, where like the story starts, they like reunite and do another fake dating marriage type thing, and then of course eventually spoiler alert, but like apologies, I just did not like this book. And then the thing that bothered me too, that's like not only like the flow of the writing was wacky, but also they kept mentioning like their 5 years they've been apart from chapter 1 to chapter 11, like, and they're short chapters, so it's not like we forgot. So like from chapter 1 to chapter like 11, like since the beginning of the story till like that point, it kept referring back to, oh, it's been 5 years, oh, 5 years, oh, 5 years, and I'm like, okay. Like, we know, why do you keep mentioning 5 years, and like, did something else happen in that 5 year time? No. So I don't know why it kept mentioning the whole 5 year thing. Like, that just bothered me, and like was just So from chapter like 14 to 19 to like the epilogue, I was like just tapping on my Kindle, because it's like, I think only, I don't know, but it was just tapping on my Kindle, and it was just telling me, I was like skimming. I read like the end of chapter 19, the beginning of like the epilogue, and I was just like tapping to just get it out of here and off my Kindle. But yeah, I gave that 2 stars. I originally gave it 2.5 because I was giving that benefit of the doubt, like maybe English isn't their first language, and if it's not, then this is still good in itself, despite like the awkwardness. But just after thinking about it a bit longer, I'm like, just drop it down to 2, because if it's a 1, I might as well just DNF it, and I really should have, and I wish I did, because I think I read that after another story that I did DNF, so I could segue into that. And it is called Some Like It Spicy by Linda Virgie. Yeah, like okay, so it's a, I guess, interracial romance, black woman, white man, or whatever. And I'm not freaking sure what this is about either, but like the couple, they met on like a plane because they're coming back from France, and from like, I guess, a job trip or whatever, their job sent them out. They come back to the States. Little do they know that they work at the same company, just like on different floors and stuff like that. And yeah, they hit it off like on the plane. They talked the entire ride, like they didn't sleep or nothing, so they were like vibing, right? So they reunite at work in like the States and stuff and try to form a type of like friendship, but homeboy was like, I really want to date her, like I want to like take her on a date, you know, wine and dine, like I want to do all that like for her, like you're like with her. But the thing that bothered me about it was like the guy kept bringing up, like their interactions weren't my favorite, because the guy kept bringing up black stereotypes, to where it's like, oh, I thought all black people can cook, oh, I thought all black people can't swim or whatever, oh, I thought all black people know how to dance. And it just would pop up in every so often, like the conversations, and she didn't get him at that, but I got him for her. And I was like super annoyed that it's like, really, like in this era are we still doing this? But I guess we are, so that bothered me. And he also kept referring to her skin as like chocolate, I guess, like the color of her skin as chocolate, which I can give you a pass for once to do that. But if it's repetitive and you keep, this is one other descriptor you use to describe her skin tone, that bothers me. Like, you can't think of nothing else in the world besides chocolate to describe your skin tone. So that bothered me. That didn't sit well with me. And I was trying to get to the point where they, like, you know, do what they do, because it's a spicy book. I was here for a good time, something short, something funny, something that entertained me, but that did not. And I was like, I don't care about y'all anymore. Like, I don't care if y'all get it on or not. Like, I literally do not care. So I DNF'd it, and I'm glad I did. So yeah, talk about those two books for 10 minutes. So let's get on to the books that I enjoyed, that I actually, you know, I was entertained with. So I read 17 books this month. I'm kidding. In July, not August. Like, wow, that's so crazy. In July last month, I read 17 books. 17, 18, one of them. And I liked it. It was a fun time. So the first book, I finally read Fairyborn by Claire Legrand. I gave it a 4.75 stars. Also, I may or may not like have the best descriptive words to describe like the story. But if I could just tell you, like, if I enjoyed it, whatever. So I did enjoy it, 4.75 stars. I thought it was like really interesting because it's like from the two point of views of like a whole century ago to like kind of like present time in the story. And I thought that was like super cool, and like see like similarities. I was already like clocking, like, I feel like they're like connected, but it won't make sense because the gap, and then stuff like that was explained later on. So I was like, oh my gosh. So it was like really interesting, kept me like on my toes, like, you know, because it's being told in like the past, and like, if I can say like the past and the present, or the past and future, however you want to like call it, kind of like the past and present of like the story. So it was like, you know, some things, so if like you're reading like in like the past, you know some things are inevitable because it happened, right, like in like the present time and stuff. And it's like really good, and it's also just interesting to see how like both those two stories like intertwine with one another. And I just think that was super well done. I'm gonna read like the second one. I have it on Libby, but I haven't like borrowed it yet. So far no one's in line for it, or at least however the copies that they have, no one's in line for it. So hopefully it's that way, so whenever I do get a chance to pick it up, I'm gonna get it. But Fairyborn, 4.75 stars. I finished it July 2nd. I need to like start saying that, but it's not like on the side. I finished it July 2nd, so it was really good. The next story I read is Interview with the Vampire. I gave it 4 stars because it was like I did it via audiobook, so I was also watching the series on like AMC because a coworker of mine was also watching it, so we were like talk about it, and like she was also doing the audiobook, so like she sent me the audiobook so we can like talk about it. My mom watches it. I found out that one of like my best friends watches it, so yeah, so it's really good. I'm not going to read the rest of the series because I don't want to spoil myself for like the TV series and see like what they're going to do and how far they're going to do the series. But yes, I gave it 4 stars audiobook. It was really good. Like I said, interesting to see the differences from like the book to like the series, and the similarities, and like, oh, that's how they did it. So it was really good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Of course, along with like the series. The next book I read is A Love Song for Wiki Wild. I finished that July 6th, and I gave it 5 stars. It's a magical realism book set around magical realism in the sense of like leap year or whatever, because leap year within like February is like super wonky and like in itself, and how that works out. So yeah, it was like really, I enjoyed it. My fluff recommended to me, and I was like in line for Anglevi. I was in line for Anglevi. I was like the 600, 700, whatever place in line. So I don't think I was gonna get to it like this year, but I did, and it was really good. I enjoyed it. This is my first magical realism book. I think so, because my genre is either between fantasy or romance, or like the combination of the two. So magical or fantasy, romance, contemporary-esque, or like the combination of those. So magical realism is like, it was really interesting. Like, I enjoyed it. I love the characters. It was a fun read. I really liked it. I read Drop, Cover, and Hold On by Jasmine Guillory. Guillory. Yes, I gave it a 3.25 stars. It's a short story. It's from the Improbable Meet Cute series number 4. It was fast-paced. It was funny. A fade to black kind of like spice thing. Like super cute. It read like a little mini episode of like a rom-com or whatever, so I think that's like super cute. I was entertained. I enjoyed it. I didn't really like the guy's reasoning, because it's like a grumpy sunshine type trope, and I didn't really like the guy's reasoning of why he was grumpy. I felt like that wasn't justified to me, but besides that, I enjoyed it. I really liked it. It was good. The next book, Terms and Conditions, from the Dreamland Billionaires series by Lauren Asher. Read the second one because they're interconnected standalones, which I appreciate from like a series, because I can just jump anywhere I want, and because, you know, sometimes you care about these set of characters but not too much about these characters to like read about them. So yeah, like I gave it 4.25 stars. It's like on the screen, trying to make sure I have space here so you can like see the book. But yeah, I finished it July 8th. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good. I feel like I'm gonna say like the same stuff for like all these books unless they like really gripped my heart. But I did like enjoy it. Have like a black woman lead, so that was fun and like here for. And I like her character because she didn't take no crap from like the grumpy, I think he's the oldest brother in like the Billionaire series. I think he's the oldest, and I think the first one is the middle child, like the middle brother, and like the third one is the youngest. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. I didn't read the other two. Didn't really plan on to, but we'll see. But yes, it was really good. It was really good. Next book I read is Writer's Block by Mia Monique. I finished that on July 8th, and I gave it 4 stars. Another short story read, 109 pages, right on my Kindle, and it's a friends to lovers trope story, fake dating, because the football player, the two characters, football player, and she's, I think, an author, like a best-selling author or whatever, and he's like a big time football player and stuff like that, NFL, right? And like they're best friends, and they decided to fake date because his management or team wanted him to look more like family oriented. You need to be in a relationship, you need to be, you know, held down, like you're just going off the rails. And homegirl, she needs like more relationship, I guess, spice scenes for this next story that she's doing, because she's going out of her, I guess, original genre, and she hasn't experienced like all the spicy things that she can. So they like made a deal, and of course caught feelings. It was a short read, good time, 4 stars. It was like funny, and like they're black, so it was giving the funniness. But yes, really enjoyed that. Then I read One Last Job by Anise Starr. I finished it July 10th and I gave it a 4.75 stars. What are the tropes in here? I guess rivals to lovers, kinda. Even though it was more so like on her end, because she like misheard something, so she was like didn't like him like from the jump, and he liked her from the jump, kind of. It's a work romance because they're like working together on like this this hotel club type thing, because she is interior decorator. There you go, interior decorator, and he is, I guess, the same, but more so on like the buying places and hiring people to do stuff. And yeah, so work romance. It was good. One Last Job. It was the second book from like Fights and Feelings series, because I read the first one, 1 Week in Paradise. Was it the month before that or before that? I don't know, but one of these videos. And I wasn't gonna read the other two in like the series, but I'm like, you know what? Sure. Like, sure. And then I read Once Upon a K-Prom by Kat Cho, 4.5 stars, and I finished it July 11th. I enjoyed it. It was because I was trying to see, like, it's about this girl. She wasn't going to prom because she promised like her childhood friend that she would go to prom, but that same childhood friend became like a K-pop star and like moved to Seoul, South Korea to do that. But then he remembered the promise he made to her. He came back and asked her to prom, and if you can say like high school drama and series and stuff like that. Character growth, because like the stuff that I was on the main girl's side for, like towards the end, once she got people's perspective on how she was acting on like the outside, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like I can see that. So it's not all on like everyone, but it's also like on you as well for these things. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I was entertained. That's like the main thing. Yeah, and then this next book, I won't put the title up on the screen because her chest is all out, but it's called The Titillating Travels of Abella the Elf, Book 1 by Serena Silverlake. I gave it a 3 stars and I finished this July 12th. The main reason why I picked up this book was because I wanted to see how it was a choose your own story, and I want to see how that worked through Kindle. So it's like, I think only available on like Kindle Limited or whatever. And I just wanted to see how that worked out, and it was just pure spice. And I had this book for like a month because I was thinking like a game, like so I could like just pick it up and put it down wherever. But I got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm tired of seeing this book on like my library. Let me like just go through, choose a random thing, like a next scene, and just keep going and keep reading. And that at some point I was just kind of like skimming through, but still reading enough to understand. But yeah, the writing is, despite all the spice and stuff, the writing was still good and interesting. And like the world building was like still pretty. It was still pretty good. It was just like super spicy. But yeah, I just picked it up because I just wanted to see how the choose your own story thing, where it's like you read like a chapter, and like towards the end of the chapter, you have like 2 to 4 options to choose from, and based on, so if you put like option B, it takes you to the scene for option B, and you just read, and that continues on whenever there's like a choice that pops up. So I just want to see how that worked out, because because I've only played those choose your own story games on like my phone, like those like otome like type games. So to actually see in like a book form, I thought was pretty interesting and like pretty cool. But yeah, that was like, gave it 3 stars. I was entertained. Then I read Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. I rated 5 stars and I finished it July 16th. And I have the second book, like Silver Serpents, on my Kindle from like Libby, and hopefully I could like renew it so I could like have it for longer. But this series, or so far, like it's so good. It's like you get like a band of like unlikely people to interact, so it's like 5 or 6 of them, and come together with like their skills to do a heist. So it reminded me of the Six of Crows duology, and that aspect, and like some of like the interactions and stuff like that. But it's so good. So if you like heists and grabbing together like a band of misfits and like of unlikely characters who wouldn't be in the same room normally but are to get this one goal, get the Gilded Wolves. Like it's really good. It's really good. I might physically buy the series just so I could. Okay, I thought I saw a bird. My window, it's like, I saw like a big bird fly by and I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, so Gilded Wolves, super good. Enjoyed it. Top tier. And then I read Better Than Fiction by Alexa Martin. I finished it July 18th and I gave it 4.25 stars. Another, I guess, interracial romance, black girl main character, and the guy is like, they describe him as like European, Mediterranean, whatever. I enjoyed this more than I thought I would. It was like funny, lighthearted, emotional like at times, but it was still like really good. And it's like about what's her name? Drew, she inherits her late grandmother's bookstore, and she, or not her per se, but like this author, this big time book author, romance author, comes in and does like a book signing and stuff like that, because these like little group of like like older ladies who are like, you know, what's the word, not like conniving, but they just, you know, they want best for Drew, right? So they scheduled this best-selling author, Jasper Williams, to come and do like a book signing, talk about the book, his next book, just talk about, you know, a book signing, a little chat, right? And so as well, like the ladies also want to pair Jasper up with Drew and all this other stuff. And from then, once they start like talking and wherever the story ensues, it's really good, because before she inherited her grandmother's bookstore, she was a photographer for like something like National Geographic or whatever. Will go out and just take pictures and stuff like that. And like you just like learn about, you know, why her grandmother left her the bookstore and other little secrets pertaining to that. But it was I enjoyed it. It was like a good read. I enjoyed it more than like I thought I would, but it was so good. Next, I read This Woven Kingdom by Taria Mafi, and I gave it 5 stars and I finished it July 23rd. I am also planning to buy hard copies. I already have the 3rd one because I finished the 2nd, which I'll talk about it later. But I have the 3rd one in my to be read shelf. little like shelf bin, and it's so good. It's like slow paced, but there's still so much that happens to where it doesn't necessarily feel like it's slow, but it's like, I don't know, because it's slow paced, but it's also like still enough to keep you engaged and trying to figure out like, you know, what's going on, like whatever, and how it's all going to turn out. If you ask me what team I'm on, I'm just gonna say I'm on team what's her name? I'm on team Alize, because whatever she decides, I'm on her side, right? Like, I'm just here for her because she's been through so much for no reason but because she's like a djinn and stuff like that. But yeah, it's about, I don't know, I can't describe it, but it's just really good. And I'm going to buy the other 2 hard copies, so in case I want to read it again. But it's super, super good. And then I read One More Shot, which is like the last book in the Flights and Feelings series by Anissa Starr. I gave it a 3.75 stars, and I finished it July 24th. I did not like the girl main character, like the woman main character, because like her reasonings for stuff just kind of like bothered me, and like pertaining to like her and the guy like love interest, because she would like, I don't know, like he like, I just didn't like her reasoning for stuff, and she was just like annoying me to where like I almost DNF'd it because I didn't like her, and she was just being dramatic for no reason. And even like her best friend was saying, you're, you know, being dramatic, not in those words, but like she's still, oh, it's raining, but she was still like, you need to relax. Like, did he do anything wrong? No. Did he do this? No. Did he do that? No. Then what's the issue, right? Like, why are you acting like you hate him for some reason, right? So it was like a one night stand between the two, and that didn't really go anywhere for like reasons. It was like a one night stand, and then they meet up again like a couple of like 2 years later, and all of a sudden she hates him. And I'm hope it's not a spoiler, but like the one night stand didn't end terribly. So from the guy's point of view, he's like, why does she hate me? Like, what the heck? Like, I thought, you know, we ended in a way that was, you know, like cordial, like adult. So like, what's going on? Like, talk to me. So after they went over that like little bloop and stuff like that, and of course she's like just denying feelings, him too, but not so much as her. So she had to work me up to like her again, because I'm like, girl, you're being, come on. Like, I'm trying to like give her, you know, trying to be like, okay, well, if I was like in her shoes, then okay. But even then I'm like, come on, because even if like your best friend is at the, so yeah. But either way, I enjoyed it. It was nice. It's also like spicy. I like some like spicy parts and stuff like that, but yeah, it was good. And then after that, I couldn't stay away from the series for too long. I read the second book on Sylvan Kingdom called These Infinite Threads. I gave that also 5 stars. Finished it July 27th. And super good. It starts off right where the previous book like ends, like just starts right back. Like, you're back into the story, you're back into the world, and I'm just excited to like read it. Like I said, it's on like my to be read shelf. I have a physical copy of it, so I could literally read it whenever. I don't have to like wait for it for like Libby or whatever. But it's great. Like, I am going to buy the physical copies of the other 2. Of course, I want hardback, so they'll like look nice on my shelf. And it's crazy because I'll probably say this again in like another video I'm planning on doing, but the first book I saw in the series was the third one because it has my color aesthetic on it. And I'm like, what is that? I want to read it. But the people who were showing it says that it was like the third book in the series, and I'm like, okay, so what y'all telling me is through the other two. And I feel like the main thing I will say is that I wish I started sooner, right? But at least I have all the books now, so I can like just read them whenever. If they're super good, I enjoy the book. Loved it. Then I read Whiskers and Kisses by Callie Burham. It's only available on Kindle Unlimited. It's a short story, 55 pages. I finished it July 28th, and I gave it 4.5 stars. Can I call it like a neighbor to lovers romance and stuff? It's super cute, and like super short. The girl is a teacher, I forget for what grade, but like it's giving like elementary grade teacher. And she has like a pet cat, and like her neighbor has like a pet snake, and sometimes his snake will like sneak into the woman's like apartment to like cuddle with the cat. Literally, like that's all they do. Like the snake doesn't eat them, doesn't eat the cat, the snake doesn't. They just sit there and cuddle. Like, so it just seems like they're in a Disney universe, right? The cat and the snake are like dating, or like, you know, in love with each other. So like it happens like pretty often, so like they like knew each other through like their pets, but of course the guy thought she was like really cute and like would want to like take her out like on a date. And sorry if the quality is like getting terrible, it's raining now and it's blurry and all this other stuff. Yeah, it's terrible, like apologies, I'm so grainy. I've also been on here for like 40 minutes now, about to be 40 minutes, so oops. But yeah, super good, 4.5 stars. I wish I could like buy it physically so I can have it on my shelf, because I thought it was like really cute. I think I counted 3 to 4 typos or like in like the story, but it still wasn't enough to take me out of it. It was super cute, had me a fun time. And then I read Aphrodite and the Duke by J.J. McAvoy. I finished it July 31st, and I gave it 4.5 stars. The tagline says, if you love Bridgerton, then you'll love the Dubels like series. Aphrodite and the Duke is the first one in the series, and I think it might be the only one I read because there's 3 of them right now. Well, right now, but I feel like that we'll care about. So it's like 3 books in the series, and it, like I said, it's like Bridgerton but like with black people. My thing is, I was coming in to the story thinking that the entire family like is black, black people, right? So I was thinking that that's what was, that they're like of high status. I was excited. They said Bridgerton, but like with like black people, you know. So I was like, yeah, let me like read it, because I have not seen Bridgerton, but based off of the people that I follow and interact with, even like my best friend, they all watch Bridgerton. So it's like I've watched it vicariously through them. But her father is white and her mother is black, but you won't be able to tell because of how she looks. You automatically assume she's black, and like she's just half, right? And it explained it because there's 6 of them. What is this? There's 6 of them, and it explains that the oldest brother and her look more so like their mother, because they have like the mother's like more genes of like the mother. And then the youngest one, I forget her name, is like Abina or something. The youngest one, she looks more like the father, you know, fair skin, blonde hair, blue eyes. She, you know, looks white. And then the 3 in the middle are a combination of the mom and dad. They have like brown tan skin, like brown like wavy hair, and the second boy, his eyes I feel like are like a light brown hazel type color. So that's like probably like the only one who has like, besides Abina, has like the baby has colored eyes. Everyone else has like dark brown whatever eyes of the kids. So once I learned about that, I was like, I was here for it, but then now it's like you couldn't just make the entire family, you know, of high status be black. It couldn't just be this black family, because everyone knew them, right? Like, I guess with Bridgertons, everyone knew the Bridgertons. Everyone knows the Dudells. Like, the first daughter's named Aphrodite, and she's just as gorgeous, right? Like, everyone, right? So that's what I was like, you know, I was like super excited about it. So I thought that's like the one thing that like kind of like upset me. Not the one thing, but like the reason why it's not like 5 stars, because it's like you could have just simply just made the father black, or even like just make him light skinned. If you still want him to be lighter, just make him light skinned. But that just wasn't the case. So that kind of like, I was like, okay, sure, I guess, sure. But I was just coming in thinking, if this is Bridgerton but like with black people, I'm thinking this family is black. So that was where I was like coming into. And then the love interest, the Duke, he was like cute or whatever, but I don't want to like spoil it and stuff, but some things that I was like getting like annoyed with him, because it's like, you said X, Y, and Z, but now you're still acting like how you promised you wouldn't. Like, what's going on? So yeah, but either way, I really enjoyed it. I like the aesthetic and realm of like regal Regency type era, so I really enjoyed it. But yeah, those were all of the books I read in the month of July. It was a lot. Hopefully you enjoyed it. That's all I really have for you. I've been sitting here talking for like 50 minutes already. But yes, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment if you read any of these books or have any other commentary on the books that I've read. If there's anything else that you want to like see from me, you can drop down below. Any other commentary, be sure to like drop it below. And thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.